I had the benefit this morning of being interviewed by Randy Sheeran, who is the executive editor of Shopping Center Business, as they're preparing for their annual net lease issue in January. And we were comparing notes about the status of the net lease sector since the Great Recession and what some of the changes are, and really what some of the changes were in 2017. For the most part, 2017 was a fairly even year. But the feedback we're getting now at the end of the year is that a number of the transactions that people had hoped to complete have simply not completed. And we think that the reason in part is a little bit of sticker shock as a result of these compressed cap rates, as well as the fact that people have been really uncertain about the Tax Act and still kind of trying to regroup after the year of uncertainty with the election and all the madness that that generated. So we were discussing that now more than ever, there's a level of professional performance required of brokers like ourselves and advisors like ourselves, where we go into the marketplace and explain to a tenant that you really got to separate the good net lease assets from the less good. Very simply, we've joked that you have to separate the wheat from the chaff, but essentially, we're in a place right now where people are arguing about cap rates, and the truth is that most investors really want to achieve a 6.5% or 7% cap rate, which is kind of tough for the very best assets in the market. What we joked about, although it's not really a joke, is that if you're a seller, you're still going to get the benefit of compressed cap rates, even with the Fed's 25 bip raise yesterday. The debt rates are going to stay reasonably stable going forward, and I think the cap rates will be stable. But one of the conundrums that investors have had in the last year, and really it's been the last 2 or 3 years, have been that what used to be a asset that you would garner an 8 or 8.5% cap rate is today selling at a 6.5 cap rate. The previous 6.5 cap rates are now selling at 4.5 and 5.5% cap rates. So as you sort through the marketplace as an investor, if you're a seller, you're just going to get the benefit of the compressed cap rates and you kind of don't care. If you're a buyer, you really have to look very thoughtfully at not only the location, the tenant credit, but the lease structure. Is it a true triple net, or the broker's just hyperbolizing that it's a triple net, with the exception of roof and structure, which we consider a double net. So the basic question for our investors going into this next year is, what is an acceptable risk-adjusted return, and how do we get it? And that's how we use our 80,000 property database to provide the best market intel to allow you to make your best investment decisions. Thank you for a great year, and stay tuned.